Hi. It's been a long time since I've posted. I usually come on talking about health, things with health, and what I tend to be doing at that time as far as for my health. Which recently I haven't been doing a whole lot of things that I should be doing to get my health together, and I'm about to get started with that. But what I'm here to talk about today is something totally different. So much has been going on in the news about being abused, women being abused, and I just wanted to come on and tell a little bit about my story, what I've gone through over the years. And, I think if men knew what what their actions caused to happen with women, I don't think they would do it. At least I hope they wouldn't. But so many women have gone through so much with these guys. I mean, and I'm not saying it's all men doing the abusing, it's women also. But the fact that you touch a person in a way that's not comfortable for them is it's a shame. It really is. And I've been through so much of that in my life. And when I look back or when I tell somebody about the things I've been through, you tend to wonder, if, what am I doing wrong? And I had a friend ask me, well, do you think that was the clothes you were wearing or anything like that? Did you say anything to that person? And I'm not going to take the blame for it because I did for so many years. I took the blame for it myself. And so when somebody asks you, was it what you were wearing? Did you say anything? It still doesn't give anybody the right to touch you in a way that you don't give them permission to do, to force themselves on you. And so I look over the situations I've been through, and it's been a lot. It's been many. And I've asked myself over the years, did I do anything? And that's what we women have to understand and have to speak out about and not wait 10, 20 years later to talk about it. Is it's not our fault. And we don't deserve it. And it needs to stop. And so all these people out here who are touching people in a way that's not comfortable, who are abusing people, it's not right, and it needs to stop now. Because if you realize what people are going through in their life when you do this to them, it causes so many mental health issues. And I just want to stress that you don't realize what you're doing to a person's life when you do this. And I know because I've been through it. I'm the one going through this. And even 10, 20 years later, in some cases, of what I've been through, even 30 years later, because it's been going on since I was a young child. And it's happened, like I say, so many times, and a lot of times we don't speak out about it. So now what needs to be done is we need to speak out about it because we don't deserve it. None of us do. And it needs to stop here. And we need to work together. We need to believe our young girls and young boys when they come to us and say, this happened to me. And the young boys and girls need to tell that it's happening to them instead of being afraid. Because I never told my mother. All the years that I went through it, I never told my mother what I was going through. And I regret now that I didn't, because it would have stopped by then. It wouldn't have continued if I had told her. So young girls, please tell your parents. Young boys, tell your parents what's going on. And if they don't believe you, then tell somebody else. Because it needs to stop. We shouldn't continue to have to go through something like this. And it cause issues in our lives. We should be able to grow up and have a healthy, loving relationship with somebody and not be abused. So I just wanted to speak out and say it needs to stop. We shouldn't have to wait 20 years later, all these women coming out years after things have happened to them and talking about it. And it was for a while I was like, did this really happen? Because why are they coming 20 years later talking about it? And my thing is, I believe it did happen, because here I am 20, 30 years later speaking out about it. And I'm saying we need to speak out before that. Thank you, everyone.